Ah, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to BucosLocker with your host Isaiah, coming to you again. Subscribe, like, comment, share on all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify all new videos that's posted on this channel. Shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining the locker room and supporting the locker room. If you want to support the locker room, all donations are welcome, big or small. The donation links are in the description box. So, we're here. Everybody good? Everybody ready? Ready? Everybody ready? Ready? Come on in, come on in. We're gonna have a little conversation. Not a locker room conversation, but just more of a little conversation. We're gonna talk about the Bucs a little bit, the OC situation. We're gonna talk about some running backs. No, we're not gonna go too heavy into it. We're not doing draft breakdowns, but kind of wanted to start gauging these draftable players. We talked about the D line, we talked about the O line, and we'll keep going with the draft conversation. But this is just one of them videos that we can at least start the conversation. Shout out to A-Rod. Thank you for the super chat. Barrett Sports Media, what's up, man? I'm sitting here looking at draftable running backs. 70 of them that's listed. And we'll go through a couple of them. We'll go through a few of them to see if y'all are interested. And the reason why I'm bringing up the running back situation, Young D's, what's up? The reason why I'm bringing up the running back situation because the possibility of the Bucs moving on from Leonard Fournette. So we have to keep that in mind. And we, it's always best to be prepared for the news to happen. So let's go that route. Just be smart about it. You know what I'm saying? I like him. So let's talk about the Bucs OC news. The OC news. It's still moving slow. Bucs are moving slow, man. I know a lot of people are still having these conversations about why it's taking so long. And like I told y'all before, the longer it takes, it's almost like they're in a situation where it's like, do you wait after the Super Bowl? Yeah, of course they're gonna wait till after the Super Bowl, right? I think they want to interview somebody from the Eagles staff. That's my guess. The Super Bowl is Sunday. I believe, in my opinion, I believe they want to interview somebody from the Super Bowl team, one of those teams. There's a quarterback coach on there by the name of Brian Johnson, former University of Florida quarterback. He coached at Utah. He kind of went around a little bit. He's kind of made a name for himself. He was the OC for a little bit. I think he was OC of Florida for a little bit. And then he went to the NFL. What up, Fire the Cannons? Then he went to the NFL. And he kind of got to the Eagle staff, working with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has made a noticeable improvement. And Jalen Hurts was never known as to being a passer. He's more of a dual threat quarterback. And dual threat quarterbacks are not known for, their passing abilities. They can pass the ball, but they're known for, their overall value of the position at quarterback. It's like the best athlete playing quarterback. It's almost like when you look at the dual threat quarterbacks, it's almost like you have to go back and look at the Pop Warner situation or the high school situation. A lot of us play high school football, Pop Warner, Sandlot, whatever. The best athletes are always playing quarterback. Um, and I think the NFL has kind of adapted that situation as well, as far as the dual threat quarterbacks. Because in high school, you see that all the time. The NFL has slightly adapted to that style. Especially, there's a few teams out there that have that setup. The Ravens, Eagles. Remember Cam Newton was like that. The Buffalo Bills are built like that. Who else is built like that? Dual threats. Or Mariota when he was with the Atlanta Falcons. There's certain teams that have that setup, and it works to a degree until the quarterbacks start getting hurt. But Brian Johnson, I just got a feeling the Bucs want to interview him. He's the quarterback coach of the Eagles. He's the man behind the Jalen Hurts progression. Jalen Hurts still not a great passer, but he's an average passer. He's not an elite thrower of the ball. He doesn't have the big arm. He's not superior with the accuracy. Like there's none of his quarterback traits are like elite. Everything is like average. When you just watch him play quarterback, and he's good, but when you just look at it from a quarterback perspective, a lot of the stuff that he does is basically just kind of like, okay, he's straight, but you can see where the ceiling is at with him. There's a ceiling with him as far as him throwing the ball. He has to use his legs for that offense to be what it is. And they're basically running a college style offense to cater to Jalen Hurts' strengths, which is not throwing the ball. It's pretty much trying to mixing and matching. Certain throws he does really well, and the RPO, mixing in the RPO, it causes a lot of problems, as far as trying to defend that. That's why it's so hard to defend the Eagles. And what also helps is the skill position too, with the AJ Brown and then Lavonte Smith. In those three running backs, Gainwell, Miles Sanders, Scott. So and then that O line. So the Eagles are pretty much they're built perfectly like for that offense, and their O line is a big deal. You gotta have that. You gotta have a really good O line, and they got a really good O line. The O line coach for the Eagles is pretty good. So there's a lot of things that when you have a lot of talent around you, and we saw this with Tua in the Mac Jones situation. You got NFL receivers and linemen all around you, so you're gonna look good. But when you get to the big leagues, we're gonna see how you really look. And I just find that funny with the Jalen Hurts situation. His first year playing at quarterback, people was like, "Oh, we don't like it," you know what I'm saying? And Brian Johnson got there, and quarterback coaches, it's not an easy job because you have to work with that quarterback consistently. Consistent communication, working on mechanics, working on vision, accuracy, everything. So quarterback coaches are not OCs, but they're pretty much in the room with the quarterback and the OC and the head coach. They got to be right there because the job of a quarterback coach is to work hand in hand with the OC on what throws he can make as far as the distance, the situation, what is he comfortable with, 3-step drop, 5-step drop, 7-step drop, bootlegs, waggles. So as a quarterback coach, you got to know the offense as well. You just can't just be like, I'm just going to work with the quarterback. You have to know the offense as well because you have to know what he has to know what the quarterback can do well and what he can't do well. There's some things that Jalen Hurts can't do well consistently. He'll have flashes in the pan, but consistently throwing the ball, that's not his game. So the offense is catered around his strengths, which is just basically be able to move. It's like Lamar Jackson. It's the Lamar Jackson situation, just with better receivers and a better O line. It's the same situation. It's a Lamar Jackson situation with better O line and better receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like let's keep it 100. And in this, when you look at stuff like that, you always look at the who's behind the scenes with the quarterback. So when you're looking for OC, it's hard to get OCs that's already established. So we can get that out the way. So it's gonna be very difficult for the Bucs to pick an OC from another team. They're gonna have to find an OC that's from college or doesn't have a job, obviously, right? Or somebody from a system like quarterback coach, assistant OC, whatever, something like that. And I know a lot of us are praying for, a top shelf OC, but that's not going to happen. We're not getting a top shelf OC. If he's already in a position where he's comfortable as a OC, he already has the title of an OC, we're not getting that. So we're going to have to look at the third layer, or I guess you can say in the offensive hierarchy. When I say second, third layer, quarterback coach, assistant coach, quality control, stuff like that. And it is what it is. It would be nice to get Eric Bieniemy as the OC. But I think that's a long shot. That's wishful thinking, trying to get Eric Bieniemy as an OC. I think he needs to get from under Andy Reid, despite the fact that Matt Nagy and Doug Peterson got head coaching jobs and they were never questioned. Or they calling plays. Mike Kafka, the Giants OC, who coached under Andy Reid as a quarterback coach, he was the OC for the Giants under Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll is an offensive-minded coach. So the same argument can be made: was Mike Kafka calling plays, or was it Brian Daboll's system and Brian Daboll handed him the play sheet and say, work off this? So I don't know, but it's going to be funny because Mike Kafka, he's one of the finalists for I think the Arizona job, which is funny. Which would be crazy if he gets the head coaching job. Yeah, I think it's Arizona, or is it the Colts? It's one of those teams. If he gets the job, what does that say about Eric Bieniemy? So you mean to tell me a guy that was under you on the Kansas City staff becomes the head coach before you? So now that turns into it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than what y'all think it is. For Eric Bieniemy to get skipped over for what, the third or fourth coaching swing. This has been about 4 seasons in a row that his name been popping up, and he's getting overlooked by guys that don't even have the experience that he has. He's been working with Andy Reid longer than all those guys, and these other guys are getting picked. So then they say Bieniemy is interviewing with the Commanders, and the Ravens want him. So that might be his best bet to get from under Andy Reid, because everybody's going to keep using that. It's not Eric Bieniemy calling plays. But I find it funny because Andy Reid literally got a video saying that I trust Eric Bieniemy to call the plays. So even though the fact that Andy Reid telling everybody it's Eric Bieniemy, people don't care. Remember how this works. When they don't like you, or when they want to push a narrative, they're not going to believe anything you do good. They're going to always bring up the other stuff. They can care less about, look at the success. Matter of fact, just think about this. He's a part of the offensive staff. Forget the OC situation. He's a part of the offensive staff. He don't get no credit? Kansas City offense has been top 5 for the last 5 seasons. Okay, let's just say Eric Bieniemy is the assistant OC. Okay, so what? That means he should get credit still, right? But see, a lot of people saying he doesn't get any credit. It's Andy Reid. Well, we can say the same thing about the Sean McVay situation, or the Kyle Shanahan situation. Anybody under those guys, who cares who the OC is? It's McVay and Kyle Shanahan. But some of those guys are getting head coaching jobs too. See how this works? It's deeper than what y'all think it is when it comes to stuff like that. Just read between the lines. Oh, Airbnb ain't calling plays. But Matt LaFleur, Zach Taylor. All these guys came from the Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay tree. They got head coaching jobs, and there was no questions about them calling. I mean, I'm just saying. Vincent Wright, what's up? You wish, what's up? Bucs for life, what's up, man? So, Eric Bieniemy is a long shot for the Bucs. It would be nice for the Bucs to try to reach out to him and talk to him at least. Now, I think I'm just throwing names out there. Eric Bieniemy, Brian Johnson. I think Eric Bieniemy will be huge for the Bucs. Like, that's a big splash. If the Bucs want to make a splash, it'll almost kind of be like good for both parties. It'll be good for the Bucs to get Eric Bieniemy, Andy Reid disciple. That's what he is. Because they always say, "Well, go look at the coaching tree. Where's his philosophy from?" Well, it would be nice to have a coach, an offensive coach from the Andy Reid tree. It would be really nice to have one of those guys because of his offensive thought process. Dynamic. He can beat you long, he can beat you short, he can beat you horizontal, he can beat you vertically, depending on what your receivers are. And it's multifaceted. I think that's what the Bucs need. Whoever the OC is, they need a multifaceted OC. An OC with, he has an understanding of what's going on in football today. And unfortunately, with the Byron Leftwich situation, it got dry. Despite the fact that the first 3 seasons with Byron as the OC, the Bucs averaged, 28, 30 points, and then 30 points. And then the 4th season, it was 18 points, and they said you got to go. So, wishful thinking, it would have been nice probably to see Byron Leftwich get one more season without Brady, so we can see the difference. But we'll never know when it comes to the Bucs. Now, he will probably get a job somewhere, and when he does, it will be some eyes over there watching him what he do with his offense, and it'll be interesting to see how Byron Leftwich's career as an OC moves along. Because if he goes somewhere, now I heard Notre Dame was looking at Notre Dame or something like that, and Ravens was looking at him, whatever. But wherever he goes, and if his offense does well, I'm gonna be like, wow. So it's going to expose a lot. So wherever he lands at, it's going to expose a lot. If he lands if he gets another job as OC. Now, if you notice, his name is not popping up around the NFL as far as these OC positions. So there's a possibility that Byron Leftwich probably is going to be blackballed now. As far as the last season with Tom Brady, it ended like that, and it's going to affect his career moving forward. So he might have to take the college route. He got a bad hand. He got a 45-year-old quarterback that was limited. As good as Tom Brady, he was limited. He was limited. Let's be real. He was limited. He was limited. 4,600 yards, 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Yeah, he had a lot of attempts. And a lot of that was spamming behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, and 0 to 7 yards. A lot of that was that. So he kind of got the short end of the stick, and that's kind of messed up. But that hurt Byron Leftwich's reputation. Because prior to this past season, the Bucs offense was, even with Jameis Winston, it was, think about this. He's an OC with 2 5,000-yard quarterbacks. Think about that. Brady threw up 5,300 yards, and then Winston threw 5,100, and 53-15, and then Winston had 51-09. Brady had 43 touchdowns, and Winston had 33. We literally just going, like, teams are literally just not even, they're going to ignore that. 2 quarterbacks, 30 plus touchdowns, 2 quarterbacks, 5,000 yards plus, and he has no job. What blackball can I say? Is he going to get blackballed? Because the same thing happened with the same thing that happened with Eric Bieniemy happened with Byron Leftwich now. Things went bad. Now people was like, well, it was Arians' offense anyway. He was calling the play. Byron wasn't calling plays. It was Byron. It was Arians. So the same thing with the Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy situation. Same thing happened with Byron Leftwich after the season. Oh, it was always Bruce Arians. Do y'all realize when it comes to OCs, there's only one person that can talk to the quarterback? When the quarterback does have a little microphone in his ear, you can't have multiple channels of people talking to him. Y'all do realize that, right? Y'all do realize, so for the people that's saying Byron Devin wasn't calling plays and Eric Bieniemy wasn't calling plays, y'all do realize that both of those guys had big sheets and they had the headset and they were looking at the sheets and they were talking into the sheet, talking into the mic. So who they were talking to? There is no way, there's no world where Eric Bieniemy, Andy Reid are both talking to Patrick Mahomes. There's no football world of metaverse where Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians was talking to Jameis Winston and Tom Brady. There's only one guy that can talk to the quarterback. So people don't understand. They just say anything. They don't even realize what they be saying. You think it's a bunch of people talking to the quarterback. No, man, it's the OC. Well, still, Arians was calling plays. Did y'all not watch Arians when he got here? It was he was just standing on the sideline, and he'll jump in every now and then. But the communication line to the quarterback was Byron to the quarterback. And then relaying that to Byron. I want banana split 2, banana tailpipe, red rocket 30, trips right. All right, Byron, you call that and you get that to the quarterback. No, it don't work like that. So in the whole totality of the OC situation, it's messed up. OCs can get thrown under the bus for the wrong reasons or to push a narrative. So with the Bucs situation at OC, them taking a long time, a lot of factors play into this because it's got to be a good pick. But here's the thing. It's not going to be a high-end pick. Have you seen the candidates? Keenan McCardle? Jim Bob Cooter? Todd Monken, who was previously the OC for the Bucs? Dan Pitcher, was it O'Shea? I forgot. I think was it Chad O'Shea? I forgot his name, Sean O'Shea or something like that. And I think the Bucs want to interview somebody from that Chief and Eagle staff. And I think there's a couple teams that the reason why they like Arizona, right? Arizona, Indianapolis. They interviewing people, but both of those teams are not going to hire coaches until after the Super Bowl. It's for a reason. They want to talk to somebody from those staffs. And the Bucs are doing it. Anybody looking for an OC or a head coach, you gotta talk to somebody from those staffs. And the funny thing about the Bucs situation is, and we talked about this last time, it's not a coveted position at this point. Now, if Brady was still here, yes, I want to go over there. But the fact that the Bucs don't have a quarterback, they have one quarterback under contract, that plays a factor, folks. Please don't forget that. Please do not forget that the Bucs not having a quarterback on the roster that's elite plays a factor. Relax and chill. Mr. Smitty, what's up, man? Mom for Christ. That's a factor, folks. Please understand that. And I think, unfortunately, the Bucs got themselves in a really bad situation. I don't say really bad, but an awkward situation. I keep saying that because it's true. You're interviewing an OC with Kyle Trask as your quarterback under contract. You're selling Kyle Trask, a guy that learns slow. Low ceiling, low floor. Now, if you want to bring somebody in there like a Brian Johnson who coached Kyle Trask in Florida, and if you think Kyle Trask is the guy, then you got to go try to talk to Brian Johnson. Haitian boy 407. What's up, man? Oh, appreciate it, man. Ashura, did I say that right? I seen your name a lot of times back. Ashura. Yeah. I'm look. I'm an anime guy. People don't know this. I mean, well, it's pretty obvious, right? I mean, I've wore some shirts. You know, I got a plenty. Got several. So I'm watching Yu Yu Hakusho. Ashura. I said that Ashura. Ashura. Yeah. So, yeah, watching a few of those. Watching a few of those shows. You know what I'm saying? I'm binge watching. I've been watching a few of them. Watching a few of them. So, Hunter x Hunter. Yu Yu. I already did Naruto Shippuden. I did all that. Attack on Titan. I did all that. Dragon Ball. Did all that stuff, right? So I'm catching up a lot. Cowboy. I got to get caught up with Cowboy Pete. I'm so far behind on One Piece. So far behind. Luffy. I'm so far behind on One Piece. One Punch Man. I'm so far behind on that. Sorry, folks. I'm going into an anime tangent, but you get where I'm going with this. But as far as this, it's a reason why I like this guy. It's a reason why I like this. I watched Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer. Those are good right there. Those are two good ones. Chainsaw Man is underrated. Demon Slayer. You know what I'm saying? But Hunter x Hunter. So I heard people say Hunter X. Like, what the heck? Like Hunter X. No, man. It's Hunter x Hunter. Get it right. Don't be playing, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Castlevania, Zeus, on Netflix. Castlevania and Zeus. Vampire D, Ninja Scroll, Fist of the North Star. These are old school. But yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, that's old school. Yeah. Baki. I haven't watched Baki yet, but I got that in my playlist though. So, yeah, I get down like that. I gotta do a little something, But yeah, you never seen that shirt before? Well, there was a samurai show on Netflix, Black Samurai. I can't pronounce the name. Yusuke, something like that. But I watched that too. Spawn, the old Spawn. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I finished that. It's on Netflix, by the way. And Blood of Zeus, the Castlevania. I like the new Castlevania. But anyway, I'm an anime guy, so I had to go. I've watched Naruto a few times. Naruto Shippuden. I've watched that a few times. I gotta get caught up with Bleach, Cowboy Peep. What's the other one? Sword Art Online. What's the other one? What's the other old school one? I'm so far behind on a lot of them because I've been like bits and pieces. I'm just trying to. It's gonna be hard with the One Punch Man and the One Piece. Those are they got so many episodes, man. It's like, and they don't have any, filler. A lot of that is like a part of the whole makeup, right? But man, the good thing about Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, it had a lot of filler, so you can skip. And if you read the manga, that's cool. But I don't like filler. I really don't. It's hard for me to go through filler. It is. I can tell when the episode to me is a filler. Oh, Team Belmont all the way. Team Belmont. Yeah. The old school Castlevania game is on point too. But yeah. So let's get back to the OC situation. I'm an anime guy. Those that don't know that. What else? Let's see. But yeah, so the Bucs OC situation is just tricky. I just hope they hire somebody from a credible staff. Just to be real. I really do. And hopefully they'll figure out the quarterback situation. Oh yeah, I don't want to get too far in that quarterback situation. I know people are talking about do I think LeBron is the GOAT? One of the GOATs, not the GOAT. I don't fall into that trap. I don't. I used to do that, but now I look at sports at a different point of view because of so many different eras. You can't say he is the best of all time. There's a lot of GOATs. That's why I say Brady is one of the GOATs because it's just those guys never. You know what I'm saying? Football is a team sport, but basketball is a team sport too. So it's kind of hard to just say he's the best player of all time, in my opinion. He's one of the best players of all time. Think about that. That's still saying he's one of the GOATs. One of the greatest of all times. There can be multiple. There's not just one. I got Amazon Prime. So is it Legends of... Okay. I'll look that up. Matter of fact, I'll look it up right now and see. Yeah, LeBron is one of the GOATs. He's not the GOAT. I don't believe in that. Yeah, I don't believe in the greatest player of all time by himself. I just don't I don't believe in that anymore. What was it called again? I haven't finished Ghost in the Shell either. Berserk. Somebody said something about Berserk. Is Berserk good? Oh yeah, my Academy Hero. My Hero Academy. I gotta finish watching that. My Hero Academy. My Hero Academy. My Academy Hero. My Hero Academy. I gotta watch that. Academy. I said Academy. Academy. My Hero Academy. I'm thinking of the store. Sports Academy. But yeah, somebody said something about Berserk. Berserk is pretty good. I gotta search for that. Oh yeah, I did watch Invincible. I did finish that. That was interesting. That got pretty nasty. The whole team got destroyed. Yeah, Berserk. Somebody told me about Berserk. I gotta check that out. What's that? Legends of... Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, Invincible is crazy. That got quite ugly. Yeah, they said Berserk is pretty good. Samurai Champloo. Okay. Yeah, they say Berserk is wild. So I'm gonna check out Berserk too. Amazon says unavailable, but I can find that. I got other sites I can go to, but it's crazy. Yeah, they say Berserk is kind of crazy. Gunderman, V-Lands. Okay. Oh, Amazon got Vinland Saga. Yeah, so crazy, man. There's a lot of crazy anime out there, man. It's insane, man. I'm trying to catch up on a lot of stuff. I'll be watching bits and pieces. But yeah. So what is Samurai? What's up, Zach? Um, did he? I was reading. Yeah, I know, man. I seen the trailer of it, man. Like I gotta start, I gotta start from season one. But people have been mentioning that, and I've been overlooking that, so I'm gonna check that out too. So they say Berserk. They say Berserk is wild. You know what I'm saying? They say Berserk, but Invincible was crazy. Uh, Invincible was crazy. That episode when the team got tore up by Invincible, he destroyed that team by himself. He's like a OP Superman. He basically like Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like it's OP, man. OP. Not an OP characters in anime, man. You're like, what? Roland Dada, what's up, man? That's on Netflix? Like, let me see. I got Netflix. I got T-Mobile, so I got Netflix for free. The military plan. Magenta military. And I got HBO Max too, so it's the new thing now. It's all about the apps now. If you ain't got a few of those apps like Paramount Plus and HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, you know what I'm saying? Or if you don't have access to free anime sites, you behind. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all. You better catch up. That's where the world at now. Oh, it is? I'm gonna see if I can find that. And we're gonna talk about the running backs in a second. Let me find this. You said it's on Netflix. I'm waiting for season 3 Demon Slayer. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna trying to get this here. I want to get that anime. I want to see what y'all talking about. There's a bootleg version of Baki. Okay. We're gonna talk about some running backs in a second. Give me like Bloodsport. Oh, I seen some clips of this. Yeah, I seen some. Oh yeah, it's almost like Baki too. Like it's kind of similar like the Baki, right? Oh, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, yeah. I'm going back to the original Baki. I'm not talking about the new one. I'm talking about the original Baki. Fist like Ninja Scroll and Fist of the North Star, man. Don't sleep on those. Do not sleep on those. Anyway, let's talk about some running backs. So we talk about the Bucs OC. So let's just hope the Bucs hire the OC that we all want them to hire, or as fans have hire somebody with a credible background. The names that's like doing something, Dan Pitcher, the Brian Johnson, possibly Eric Bieniemy or somebody from the chief staff. You want somebody from a staff that's producing. I don't know. I don't want no Jim Bob Cooter. Nothing. No offense to Keenan McCardle, but I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? So nothing against Todd Monken either. I don't want to go back that route. I want somebody fresh. You know what I'm saying? If the Bucs want to evolve, they got to catch up. They behind. Behind at quarterback. Slightly behind at running back. Behind at left tackle. Behind on the D-line. They're behind in some key positions. Behind at receiver. And like I said, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are good, but I'm just saying, like, as far as what everybody else is doing and what's going on now, speed kills. Excuse my language, but speed is very important. Guys that can separate is very important. if this was Mike Evans in his in his prime, like 25, 26, 20, that's different. Chris Godwin, but we're talking about Mike Evans at 30. He's not what we're seeing now. You know what I'm saying? In today's NFL, you see the receivers, man. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Mike Evans is, and it's crazy. Mike Evans is still really, really good, but he's kind of outdated. He's my guy. I told y'all this. Mike Evans is outdated compared to what we're seeing now. The Chase and the Jefferson, the Christian Watson, the Romeo Dobbs, the Lavonte Smith and A.J. Brown, Drake London. Well, Drake London is kind of like a Mike Evans clone. So I'm talking about guys that's like super explosive. Tyreek Hill, Jaden Waddle, you know what I'm saying? Justin Jefferson, the other guy from the CeeDee Lamb, Osborne, KJ Osborne, Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Amon St. Brown, who else? They're just behind. You know what I'm saying? Just behind. Yeah, I'm Ross St. Brown. Yep, I'm Ross St. Brown. What's another receiver? Like DeAndre Hopkins is outdated. You know what I'm saying? He's outdated. DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Evans, these guys are outdated now. You got to get some guys that can separate. Jameson Williams, explosiveness. Explosiveness. That's what you need. If the Bucs can find a way to get a Cooper Kupp or Devontae Adams type receiver that can separate, great moves. Mike Evans is not known to run. Mike Evans is not a route runner. He's not known to be a route runner. He's not known to have great hands. He's not known to have great separation. He's above average in a lot of areas, but he's not like, oh, Mike Evans got some crazy hands. Every now and then, Mike Evans will make a really good catch, right? But his catch rate percentage is not high. Chris Godwin has a higher catch rate than Mike Evans. More interceptions are thrown when you throw the ball at Mike Evans. Jalen Hyatt, yep, need guys like that. And we'll talk about receivers if the Bucs wanted to go like Zay Flowers, if the Bucs wanted to go that route in the later rounds. But you're not going to get Zay Flowers in the third round, I'll tell you that much. Zay Flowers is going to be gone probably in the first or second, and Hyatt as well. So we'll talk about receivers, but I want to get to the running backs. I'm going to get to the running backs. And I know this is a topic that a lot of people, kind of like, we got Leonard Fournette, I'm like, nah, I'm kind of good on Leonard Fournette. And if the Bucs are smart, they need to move on from that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's basically what he is now. Mike Evans is RIH. He's basically Vincent Jackson now. Every now and then he'll get behind you, whatever, but not consistently though. No team is scared of Mike Evans anymore. Like back in Mike Evans he was a problem back 4 or 5 years ago, but now it's kind of like as the years pass, now he's gonna be 30. Nobody's scared of Mike Evans, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why 7 of Brady's 9 interceptions came throwing the ball at Mike Evans. I told y'all this before. Winston and Mike Evans combination between 2015 2019. 41 interceptions when Winston was throwing the ball to Mike Evans. People didn't talk about that. And the same thing that happened to Winston happened with Brady. A lot of interceptions throwing the ball at Mike Evans. So it wasn't just a Winston situation. It was like, why am I throwing a lot of interceptions when I throw the ball to Mike Evans? 7 out of his 9 interceptions came throwing the ball at Mike Evans. 41 of the 88 interceptions came from when Winston was throwing the ball to Mike Evans. Hello? Separation. His route running. Anyway, we'll get to the receivers though. So let's talk about running backs. I know Leonard Fournette has been a major disappointment. Pat, what's up, man? He's been a disappointment this season. I gotta be honest. 2020, when he was labeled playoff Lenny and it was all good, and then he was like, well, he can take off from there. Because at that point, he was what, 26, 25, going on 25, turning 26. And at that point, it was like, oh, playoff Lenny. You know, he showed out in the playoffs. He took Ronald Jones' job, and Ronald Jones ended up leaving. Or the Bucs end up, let him go about his business, and then Ronald Jones is on the Chiefs roster still, about to become a Super Bowl champion possibly. Again, and shout out to Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones had some talent, but for some strange reason, 2 coaching staffs didn't believe in him. Dort Cutter and Bruce Arians. So you got the name playoff Lenny on the Bucs Super Bowl run. Some people call it the bubble run. The Bucs and the Lakers had the bubble championships, they call it. And ever since then, they haven't done anything after that. But they have a point. It's like he came on the scene with playoff Lenny. Fournette came from Jacksonville. He was a power running back, a lot of carries, a lot of yards. But even in Jacksonville, his vision was in question. He didn't hit the hole well. He didn't see the holes correctly. He got away with that in high school. Got away with it in college. He looks for contact. And in today's NFL, that's not it. That's not it. You got to have some elusiveness. Change of direction, some quickness, really quick feet, awareness on how to hit the hole, how to, Fournette he will be really good at a power system. You just, like an Adrian Peterson system. Like you just turn the ball, put a running back in front of him, whatever, turn around and hand him the ball. That's Leonard Fournette's style of running. So in 2021, the Bucs tried to turn him into this pass catching running back, which it worked in 2021. He had a lot of catches. And as you saw the change in Leonard Fournette, his style got worse. So when it was time for him to run the ball, it was like, dude, what are you doing? Go back and look at the 2021 season. Same thing. It just came more evident this past season. The flaws are already showing in 2021. Even when he catches the ball out of the backfield, what did he do? He had a lot of catches as a running back, but go look at the yak. Go look at the broken tackles. How bad was the Bucs screen game? The Bucs cannot effectively run a screen at all. They couldn't do it. So, and then 2021, he caught a lot of balls, but it was for like 600 yards. He had like 70 catches for like 600 yards. It's like, it's a lot of catches for a running back, but how much of those yards were yak? How many catches did he convert first downs? Like, if you want to break the catches down, like you can catch a lot of balls, but are they effective catches? First down, touchdown, big chunks of yards. He didn't get a lot of that. He didn't run the ball well in 2021 either. Then comes 2022, this past season. And it was awful. He had a couple games that was like, all right, the Cowboys game, the first game. And then in the Saints game, he had 24 carries or 20-something carries and like 70 yards, but it was effective, right? But when you look at the totality of the season, what was that? You know what I'm saying? And we saw time and time again, what is this? The lack of explosiveness. And he came into the season, this past season, he came into the season 20 pounds overweight, eating and all this. And, you heard the stories. So it was already set up for a bad season at running back. And then The Bucs drafted Rachaad White. He was unknown, at Arizona State. What didn't burst onto the scene, And the Bucs did draft Keyshawn Vaughn, a lot of y'all favorite running back on the team. And Keyshawn Vaughn has yet to produce anything after being a third-round pick. There's guys from his draft class, 2021 draft class, and the 2022 draft class I would rather have, clearly. So we can start right there. From 2020, when he got drafted, 2020 running back draft class, 2021 draft class, running back draft class, and 2022 running back draft class. Look how far he's fallen. If you had to rank those running backs from the 2020 to 2022 draft class of running backs, Keyshawn Vaughn is not even in the top, probably 50. Well, I'm gonna say that's sweet. Let's just say if it was 40 running backs drafted between 2020 and 2022, I think Keyshawn Vaughn is in between 35 and 40. He has not developed. He has not developed into a running back that the Bucs can be like, we good. But meanwhile, we see other running backs in the 4th and 5th round, 7th round showing out. Why can't Keyshawn Vaughn show out? Why he can't get the opportunity? Because if he was that good, he would have took Fournette's job. And you saw Fournette this past season. He didn't do anything. If Keyshawn Vaughn was that good, why did Rachaad White leap him easily? Keyshawn Vaughn is basically a special teams player, and I don't even think he's good at that. So that was a 3rd-round pick. And then Rachaad White was a 3rd-round pick. So the Bucs went back to the running back hole this past season. That tells you more about Keyshawn Vaughn than Rachaad White. Keyshawn Vaughn offers a better skill set than Keyshawn. Rachaad White offers a better skill set than Keyshawn Vaughn, clearly. And I told y'all, he was a running back for Vanderbilt, had a lot of ball, had a lot of carries, had a lot of yards. Whoop-de-doo. He was at Vanderbilt, man. There wasn't nobody there. And even the SEC, so Vanderbilt couldn't throw the ball. And I don't know what the Bucs seen in him, because I didn't have him on my radar at all in 2020. Vanderbilt couldn't throw the ball. So they had to turn around and run the ball. So of course he had a lot of yards. He was tough. There's plenty of guys like that you can draft. Unfortunately, he's been a huge disappointment. And then with the downfall of Leonard Fournette, that's a recipe for a disaster. You got 2 running backs on the squad that you know are not starters anymore. Or Fournette's not a starter anymore. And Keyshawn Vaughn, pretty much his career is what it is. You can almost say it's like a Jeremy McNichols situation. He got drafted, but it was like, but Jeremy McNichols was drafted in the 5th round, I believe. So it wasn't really a big deal, but I saw him at Boise State. I was like, oh, he's all right. But, 5th round pick, it's not, okay. But, 3rd round picks is kind of important. In the last, several years, 3rd round picks, damn, they're starters. Because, your first 2 rounds, that's where a lot of your starters come from. But now, as the NFL evolved, and you got to have depth and all that stuff like that, 3rd round picks, almost basically a starter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get starters in those rounds. The first 3 rounds, basically, you got to get starters. Because 3rd round picks can be 2nd round picks. And of course, a lot of the top half of the 2nd round can be 1st round picks. So see how that works? So when you drafted Keyshawn Vaughn, he was overdrafted. Clearly. Just like Luke Gedeke, Roberto Aguayo. Overdrafted. And would I be saying this about Keyshawn Vaughn if he was a 5th round, 6th round pick? No. Because anything after the 3rd round is like, you can get some gems, hidden gems, if you scout right. And the Bucs are not really known to be 4th, 5th, 6th round, 7th round type team to get guys back there. They're not known for drafting guys that late. And we've seen the Bucs late round picks. Now that not saying that teams get these picks in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, they pan out. A lot of them pan out. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't. But the Bucs are not known to be picking that late and getting guys that late. We see the history. A lot of the Jason Light success has been in round 1, round 2, round 3. So, which goes back to the Keyshawn Vaughn situation. Like, damn, you missed that one, buddy. He got some misses. We talk about, as much as we talk about them hits, but that running back situation, since Jason Light has been titled the GM, you know, he ain't done well at the running back situation, folks. I know we need the trenches and all that, and trust me, we need trenches. But I'm just saying, Jason Light has not done a good job with the running back situation. Wale, Peyton Barber, Jacquez Rogers. Ronald Jones. Fournette was a 1.5 year wonder. He has yet to draft a running back worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Now, Rachaad White, I think he's going to be fine. So he did get that right. But he do need another running back to pair with Rachaad White. Because I just don't believe in, and I made a post on Facebook about it. People was like, what about Vaughn? You talking about Deuce Vaughn from Kansas State? You talking about Deuce Vaughn from Kansas State? Because I'll take him. But you talking about Keyshawn Vaughn? No, I'm good. I told y'all I've been out on him since the beginning. Like I told y'all, and I was right. He ain't it. Keyshawn Vaughn gets some carries. When he gets in the game, it's like he doesn't do anything. He don't get enough carries. But it's a reason why. There's no wow factor with him. Even at the combine, the production in the combine, I mean, yeah, he ran a 4.53, 4.54, but it's like Vanderbilt, 1,500 yards. That screamed 4th, 5th, 6th round running back. But he was drafted in the 3rd round? How many of you Bucs fans would love to have a Dameon Pierce, who the Bucs could have drafted? Or multiple running backs between 2020 and 2022. So now the Bucs have and y'all don't want to believe it, but the Bucs do have a hole at running back because if they bring Fournette back, what are you getting with that? You're going to get the same thing. You're not going to get a better version of him. He is who he is at this point. See, running back years are different from everybody else. This is why running backs peak early. Early. I'm talking about 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and maybe 27. See, it used to be at 30 is when they go bad. But they start going bad at 27. What up, Chop Beast 215? I thank you, man. You know, Itachi. The showering gun. Ngekio showering gun. Susanoo. Which Susanoo do you like? The blue, the purple, or the orange? Susanoo. Madara. You like Madara Susanoo? I like Itachi Susanoo. You know, the sword. What's the name of that sword? What's the name of that sword that Itachi used? I'm having a brain fart right now. But Itachi's sword that sealed Orochimaru. Anybody know the name of that sword? I forgot. I can look it up, but I don't feel like looking it up. I know one of y'all know it. The sword that Itachi used to when he fought Sasuke, his brother, and Orochimaru came out of Sasuke's neck, the curse bite, and he came out into that snake. And then Itachi pulled out his sword and stabbed Itachi in the mouth and sealed him into the jug. That sword, it's one of them legendary swords. It's not a dagger. That was a sword, man. It's not a dagger. Anyway, but yeah, somebody let me know what sword that was. Do I need to look it up? I'll look it up. Now I'm just, you know. The Tosca blade. That's what it was. The Tosca blade. That's what it was. The Tosca blade. Yeah. A Tosca blade. It's a sealing weapon. A Tosca blade. You get stabbed by that, you going into the jug. The Tosca blade. But so yeah, the Bucs have a decision to make. Fournette, the production and what he's getting paid for. Like this past season, he had 73 catches for like 500 and something yards. Yeah, the Tosca blade. I got it right. Yeah, the Tosca blade. One of my favorite weapons in Naruto's universe. The universe of Naruto. Out of all the weapons I've seen, the Tosca blade is like that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You get touched by that, you going in. You getting sealed. There's a lot of weapons on there. The gourd. Yeah, the gourd. Yeah, the gourd. Yeah, there we go. The gourd. I keep saying the jug. The gourd. I'm having a brain fart, man. I get excited. But the Tosca blade, man. That's one of the best weapons in Naruto's universe. I know the Sharingan and all that. Yeah, I get it. But as far as weapons, you know, I know the Datara with the clay and all that. That's cute. That's cute. The puppets. That's cute. I'm just saying. So Fournette, his money doesn't add up to what his production is. He's a very expensive. But the production don't match the cost. See, running back costs these days. You don't want to overpay. Like the Cowboys going through the same situation. They paid Ezekiel Elliott a lot of money, and it's coming back to haunt them. And I think the Giants are going to end up doing the same thing. They're going to pay Saquon Barkley a lot of money to only get 2 or 3 years of high level production. And Saquon Barkley has a known history of injuries, so you got to be careful what you pay running backs. So I think if you look at running back contracts, you have to look at it from a 2-year perspective. Now, if they're young, but if they're like 24, you got to be careful. Over 24 and ease up for a contract or looking for a contract, got to be careful because how much production are you going to get out of that? And the Cowboys gave Zeke that contract when he was younger, 23? But now Zeke, 26 or 27, 28, whatever. His production has dropped off big time. No explosiveness, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think the Giants going to do the same thing with Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's injury prone. So, and the Bucs gave Fournette a 3-year, $21 million contract. And I think $11 million was guaranteed. And it's like, nah, bro. But nah, that's not it, bro. It's too much money for a running back to be produced that really doesn't see the whole, doesn't run well. You know what I'm saying? So, what's up, buddy? What's up, Jason? Super Hank. What's up? I got that right. FCB plug. Running backs is very tricky. It's almost like every couple years you gotta get running backs. It's almost like every year you need to be looking at running back in a way. Like if you don't have like the guy, because the Bucs don't have a guy. They have Rachaad White, Leonard Fournette, Keyshawn Vaughn. It's a no go. It's a no go. Because at this point, it's almost like having Peyton Barber and Uma Wale. Neither one of them should be getting carries like that. But they getting carries. Well, Keyshawn Vaughn not getting carries, but Leonard Fournette, he's unproductive. And there's younger running backs that you can get and on rookie contract. And if the Bucs was to move on from Leonard Fournette, they'll save some money. And they'll take a dead cap hit, but it's not like a major cap hit. You know, it's not a major. See, think about if they move on from Leonard Fournette, it's not like, oh my gosh, it's a huge cap hit. I mean, it's a huge dead cap. Oh, they're gonna be paying Leonard Fournette a lot of money. No. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up for you guys. The Tosca blade. I gotta find me a shirt with a Tosca blade. Let me find that. If the Bucs was to move on from Fournette, and we'll get to the running backs in a second. If the Bucs was to move on from, I'll give y'all the breakdown here. I'll give y'all the breakdown. I'm on overthecap.com. And we're gonna look at the Bucs. If the Bucs was to move on from Leonard Fournette, this is if they make him, he has a cap number of $8.4 million this upcoming season. Guaranteed salary of $2 million. Pre-June 1st, this is before June 1st, if they was to cut him. You got dead cap. I mean, the first number I'm gonna give you is dead cap, and the second number I'm gonna give you is cap savings. If they were to move on from him before June 1st, the dead cap is $5 million. Cap savings is $3.4 million. That's before June 1st. If they was to move on from him pre-June 1st. But if they go post June 1st, this is a possibility, folks. This is a possibility. Not saying it's gonna happen. But if there's a possibility that the Bucs move on from Fournette, remember, hashtag probability versus possibility. I'm giving you the possibility side of it. If they were to label that post June 1st, this is after June 1st. Dead cap, $3.5 million. Cap savings, $4.9 million. So you'll save about $1.4 million. I mean, as far as like the difference between dead cap and cap savings. So the dead money, it's not that bad, folks. It's only $3.5 million. It's not a big deal, folks. My point is, it's not a big deal if they were to move on from him post June 1st. And this goes the same thing with Donovan Smith and Leonard Fournette. Even with Mike Evans. And Shaq Barrett. Now, if they was to do, I know somebody said Russell Gage. Well, if they was to do Russell Gage post June 1st, dead money would be $7 million, and the Bucs will save $5 million. So I think, in my opinion, Gage got one more season. Who is that? Somebody get rid of that person. Hold up. And block that person. But yeah, so Russell Gage ain't going nowhere. Yeah, but Mike Evans, Shaq Barrett, Donovan Smith, those are three big salaries they can save a lot of money on. They can save a lot of money by labeling them post June 1st cuts. And the Bucs will save if they were to do this. If they were to do this. Let me give y'all the numbers. I know I'm getting outside of the running back situation, but let me give y'all the numbers. Post June 1st, cap savings, or dead cap and cap savings for Mike Evans. Dead cap would be $9.1 million. Cap savings of $14.5 million. Shaq Barrett, dead cap, $6.6 million. Cap savings, $14.6 million. Donovan Smith, $2.6 million dead cap, or dead money. Cap savings, $15 million. Shaq Mason, dead cap, $1 million. Cap savings, $8.5 million. So let me give you these numbers. The Bucs could save if they were to post June 1st cut these dudes. Possibility, but I'm just giving y'all some options here. 14, was that 29, 44, $52 million. The Bucs can save cap savings if they were to post June 1st cut Mike Evans, Shaq Barrett, Donovan Smith, and Shaq Mason. $52 million. Four players. They can save $52 million. And the dead cap for those four players will be 15, 17, $18 million. $18 million. Dead cap for those four players is only $18 million. And they can save 52. I don't know, man. It's an option, folks. I'm not even counting Brady. I'm just counting like the big contracts. 20, 29. Yeah, 40. Yeah, 52 over 50, about $53 million they can save just by post June 1st cutting those four. Shaq Mason, Shaquille Barrett, Mike Evans, Donovan Smith. I'm not saying it's going to happen, folks. It's just conversation. I'm just giving y'all the numbers, the business side of it. Everybody calm down. Relax. It's just conversation. It's a long off season, folks. It's things to talk about. These are options for the Bucs if they choose to go. It's not an option, folks. I mean, it's not a guarantee. It's an option. Relax. What's up, Brent? Please take a chill pill. We're just having a conversation. I'm giving y'all things that y'all probably not thinking about from the numbers perspective. Yeah, from a position perspective and the draft need and all that, I get that. But there's also the other side. Remember, I told y'all, when you paint the picture, you can't just talk about one thing. You have to talk about the entire picture of how the Bucs are structured and what can they do to relieve some of this cap situation. There's options. You always entertain options. You always take a look at what do you have in front of you. What is the best course of action from a cap perspective? Now, you can extend these guys and save money in 2023. But guess what? In 2024, you're going to have to go through it again. So the Bucs are in a weird situation. I told y'all this. When they set this roster up in 2020 to win now, this is what happens. And the Bucs were successful. Don't get me wrong. 32-18. The Bucs were successful. But the long-term effects will show. And it's not going to look pretty. Now, if the Bucs wanted to restructure Mike Evans or those four guys, let me give you the restructure side of it. If they were to restructure the contract, they'll cap savings $10 million. Shaq Barrett, $9 million. They'll save $9 million Shaq Barrett. If they were to restructure Donovan Smith, they'll save $9 million. If they were to restructure Shaq Mason, they'll save $4.7 million. So that's the restructure point of view. So if it was to keep all four of those guys and just restructure the contract, the Bucs will save 20, 30, $35 million just by restructuring contracts. If he was to restructure those 4 contracts, he'll save $30 million. Now, if you post June 1st them, you save 54. But if you restructure, you save 30, which is good. But guess where that money goes at? Kicking the can down the road. Sandoval 813, what's up, man? That's just restructure. Now, if you was to extend those 4 guys, let me give you the extension part. Remember, there's a couple sides here. There's post June 1st. No, there's a few sides. There's pre June 1st, post June 1st, restructure, and extension, which means your current contract gets reworked and they add more money to it in some more years. And that's an extension. So, if they was to extend Mike Evans, the Bucs will save $10 million. Extend Shaq Barrett, save $10 million. Extend Donovan Smith, you'll save $11 million. Extend Shaq Mason, you'll save $5 million. So basically, you'll save $35 million just from contract extensions. Now, you'll save more, you'll have more cap space if you post June 1st cut those 4. If you post June 1st cut them, you'll save $54 million. But restructures and extensions, you'll save $35 million. It's giving y'all some options because it ain't, because you got to look at a multitude of things: age, production, trajectory, ceiling, business. All that is in a pot. All that is in a pot. And you have to think about it like, okay, what is the best thing for this franchise moving forward? Mike Evans is about to be 30. Shaq Barrett about to be 30. Donovan Smith is approaching 30. Not getting any better. Shaq Mason, undersized guard. So there's a possibility that the Bucs can be paying a lot of money to guys 30 and up. That's not how you want your franchise to be running. You want your money, you want to have flexibility, you want to have money to get some guys, some veteran guys, but you want to put your money towards the younger players. The future. You always look at the future. In the NFL, you can't look at right now. That's why you don't see a lot of teams trying to do this win right now stuff, because you have to constantly evolve your roster. Keep up. Aquamegalodon, what's up? You have to constantly be ready to make certain moves that you might not like, the player might not like, the fan base might not like, but it's an option. The bright thing about this, though, the Bucs do have options. Yeah, I know the Bucs, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Salary cap hell, $55 million. If you subtract 24, it'll be 31. $24 million, because that $24 million from Brady's $35 million, but $11 million would be, once they label him post June 1st, it'll be $11 million cap hit. $24 million will be in 2024. But my point is, the Bucs have options. They can extend, they can restructure, or they can post June 1st cut. The Bucs are not pigeonholed where they can't do anything. So as bad as it looks surface level, when you just look at the number at $55 million, the Bucs can move around some things to get cap compliant. Now, the running back situation, to get back to that, the Bucs need to keep it 100 and move on from Fournette. In my opinion, that's my scenario. My scenario for the Bucs, they post June 1st cut Fournette. Keyshawn Vaughn sticks around, but special teams, and they get a running back to pair with Rachaad White. So let's look at the running backs. We'll go down a few of these. We're not going to go in details with them, but I'll throw some names out there. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Zach Charbonnet, Devin Achey, Kenny McIntosh, Chris Rodriguez Jr., Zach Evans, Deuce Vaughn, Sean Tucker, Chase Brown, Keaton Mitchell, Tank Bigsby, Tajay Spears, one of my favorite. Tavion Thomas, Evan Hall, Eric Gray, Muhammad Abraham, Minnesota running back. He's pretty good. Kendre Miller, TCU, number 33. He's pretty good too. Dwayne McBride, Roshan Johnson, Cameron Peoples from App State. I seen him play a little bit. Cameron Peoples. Travis Dye. There's going to be some running backs. So, in other words, this running back class it's not top heavy, but there's a lot of depth. A lot of depth. I told you this draft has a lot of depth. It does. Even at running back. There's going to be some running backs in this draft. You're going to be like, God, there's going to be several running backs, like, from round 1. Well, no, I'm not even going to say round 1. From round 2 to round 5. Yes, I mentioned Zach Charbonnet. But there's going to be several running backs from round 2 to round 5. I believe the Bucs can get one. I think they can. I think they can sneak around and get one. I mean, in my opinion. I named about 20 running backs. I mean, all the running backs I named, I've seen them play. Not bad. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, every year there's about 3 or 4 running backs, maybe 5. You'd be like, how did he slip that far? Every year we see this. And there's going to be 1 or 2 of them 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, undrafted. Like, God, dang it. Every year we see this. Every year we see this with running backs. Even receivers. You be like, dang, why did we get him? We see this every time. We just got to hope, not you, but we as a fan base, we just got to hope that Jason Light and his minions, lieutenants and minions, scout team, get it right. That's all I'm saying. We just got to hope they get it right. Finally, like, oh, we finally got a running back. I'm gonna get Rachaad White. Look, I like it. But you need 2 at a minimum. Chiefs got 2 or 3 of them. Eagles got 2 or 3 of them. 49ers got 2 or 3 of them. Dolphins got 2 or 3 of them. Cowboys got 2. You know, you need a couple of them. Jets got about 2 or 3 of them. Ravens got about 2 or 3 of them. Cincinnati got 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we have it? Jacksonville got 2 of them. Detroit got 2. Why can't we have 2? The Panthers, the Carolina Kitty Cats, they got 2. Minnesota got 2. Why can't we have 2? Patriots got about 2 or 3 of them. Browns got, 2 or 3 of them? 3 of them? One of them. Well, why can't we have that? Why can't we have what other teams have? Yep, Bears got 2. Why can't we have what other teams? The Packers got 2. Why can't we have that? Why is it like, oh, we got Rachaad White, we good? No, man. I want 2 running backs at a minimum. I already talked about D lineman. Yes, the other day. The other video. Go back and watch that video. Why can't we have 2 or 3 good running backs? What is the issue? The Commanders got 2 of them. Look at all these teams I named. They got 2 or 3 running backs. Oh, the Bucs, they got 1. Remember I told you the Bucs are behind in certain positions, and the running back is one of them. And they can address that in the later rounds because there's a lot of nice running backs. that I'm telling y'all, some of these running backs gonna turn out good in between that second and fifth round. I'm not saying we need to get one in the second round. Y'all already know how I feel about the first and second round. At a minimum, D-line, O-line, D-line, O-line. First 2 rounds. Now, third round, you can go D-line again. But there's options in the third round, in the fourth round. You can go running back, you can go receive. You get what I'm saying? But the first 2 rounds, trenches. Don't even come at me about no second round receiver, cornerback, running back, none of that. First 2 rounds, trenches. O-line, D-line, O-line. Whatever order you want to do it. Or D-line. I don't care. Trenches. Period. First 2 rounds. Whatever order, however they do it. But that third and fourth and fifth round, now you can go D-line again. I'm okay with that too, but if there's an opportunity again to get a running back that can do something, it's an option. Bucket with your girl. Yeah, I talked about the O-line. So if those of you that didn't watch that video, I did talk about the O-line and the D-line. And I didn't go in depth. I didn't go in detail, nothing like that. I brought up some names. I brought up some interior O-linemen. I brought, some guards, some centers. I brought up some tackles. The tackles are deep. There's several guys between round 1 and round 2. What up, Bucket with your girl? There's several tackles between. So the Bucs at 19. From pick 19 all the way at least until the beginning of the third round, there's tackles. If you can't get your guy at 19, you can get him in the second round. You might have to trade to get the guy you really want, but you get what I'm saying? There is no excuse why the Bucs can't come out of this thing with a left tackle. If they move on from Donovan Smith. If they post June 1st cut him, which the probability is high. Possibility is there, but the probability is over 50%. Now, if they stick with him, it is what it is. Live with the results. Am I going to be like, damn, which means if they stick with Donovan Smith, or as some of you call him, 76 or Highway 76, understand this. If they stick with Donovan Smith at left tackle because of his durability and all that, he was hurt last year and all that, which means D-line, which means a position of need goes up. Interior D lineman, outside linebacker. That's if they stick with Donovan Smith. And that's a possibility. There's nothing in stone saying they're moving on from Donovan Smith. There's nothing in stone saying they're keeping him. But if they were to keep Donovan Smith, restructure or an extension, that means outside linebacker and D lineman or interior D lineman tends to shoot up, go up higher. So like the first 2 rounds, D-line, or outside linebacker, D-line. Now, if they move on from Donovan Smith, Highway 76, Phillips 76. It's that gas station, right? That was at Phillips 76. But if they move on from Donovan Smith, there are several tackles. I went over this in the last video. If they want to address the left guard situation, if they're comfortable with Luke Gedeke and Aaron Stinney, if they're comfortable with those guys at left tackle, at left guard, okay. But I said this, and I'm going to say this again and again. If you can upgrade the position, and if it's a position where it's like, he's good, but I think we can do better, do it. If there's a left guard, Osiris Torrance, sitting there at 19, if you believe he's way better than Luke Gedeke, do it. And if that's the case, you add flexibility to your O-line. That means you can move Luke Gedeke to the right guard and move on from Shaq Mason's contract. See how that works out? You got a rookie, a second-year player playing right guard on a rookie contract. You see the flexibility that you add to the not only the team but also to your salary cap. Or you can say, well, okay, Luke Gedeke, we'll move you to right tackle and we'll move Tristian to the left tackle. So now we got O'Cyrus Torrence and Tristian Wirfs on the left side. Monsters. And then we got Ryan Jensen. So your left side, the blind side of the quarterback, you got Ryan Jensen, O'Cyrus Torrence, and Tristian Wirfs. You good there. And you'll figure out Luke Gedeke right guard and Luke Gedeke right tackle and Stenny or Robert Hainsley. I'm sorry, forgot about Robert Hainsley. Robert Hainsley's solid, right? He's a good center, right? But what do you do with Robert Hainsley? You can move him to right guard. See, you add flexibility if you put O'Cyrus Torrence at left guard and move Gedeke to right tackle and Tristian Wirfs to the left tackle and Robert Hainsley to right tackle. You get what I'm saying? He played right tackle at Central Michigan. I'm just saying. So the running back situation, it's circling back to the running back situation. The Bucs have options. There's a multitude of guys that they can get rounds 3, 4, 5. But this all depends on what they do with their roster. If they were to move on from Donovan Smith, if they was to keep, like, a lot of things can change, folks, and it will. And we'll go over all this stuff. Well, I'll make more videos, and we're going to keep going with this. 1 or 2 videos a week. We're just going to keep touching on it. We're going to keep touching on it. I talked about O-line, D-line. Now, I'm talking about running back. I'm not worried about Bijan Robinson. No, not at 19. I'm talking about that 3rd, 4th round, 5th round situation. You got Zach Charbonnet, Devin Achey, speed guy. Zach Charbonnet is a power guy. He got some speed on him, though. He got a little speed on him. Devin Achey is fast, right? Kenny McIntosh. Chris Rodriguez Jr. He's slow, kind of a Keyshawn Vaughn type. I wouldn't want to touch Chris Rodriguez. He's kind of like a Benny Snell, because Benny Snell came from Kentucky. Keyshawn Vaughn, Benny Snell type running back, James Conner type running back. I don't like those type of guys. You know, I need some explosiveness. Zach Evans from Mississippi, nice. Deuce Vaughn. What you think about Deuce Vaughn? What up, Rip? What do you think about Deuce Vaughn from Kansas State? If y'all watch him this season, you got some juice on him. And these running backs will be available. What up, Luke? How about Deuce Vaughn? Oh yeah, Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker's fast. I seen like some highlights of him. So they got a 4th round grade for Deuce Vaughn. 4th round grade. These are the running backs I'm naming. These are 3rd, 4th, 5th round grades. Right up in the Bucs alley. Right up in there. Chase Brown. Tank Bigsby. One of my favorites, Tajay Spears. Have you seen him play? The Tulane running back that made USC defense look like. Shout out to Willie Fritz, Tulane coach. He turned that program around, didn't he? I'm surprised that the Gators should have snagged Willie Fritz from Tulane. The Florida Gators should have tried to pooch Willie Fritz from Tulane. Gave him a big contract. I mean, I get it. Billy Napier, that's cool. But give me Willie Fritz, man. Program turner. He turned that program around. Tulane is a law school. Tulane is a law school, basically. A lot of smart guys there. A lot of smart women there. A lot of smart guys there. Tulane is not a school known for sports and football. But see, as I told you, sometimes it's not about the talent. I mean, talent plays a factor, but coaching. As a head coach, your job is to put together a team of players and coaches that believe in your philosophy and what are you trying to do. And it's clear to see at Tulane, that's what's happening. And you saw it happening. From the time when he first got there, it was being built up. And look at the end result. So the Gators should have tried to got him instead of Billy Napier. I'm just saying. Shout out to Willie Fritz. But Tajay Spears, I think he's going to do something. Tajay Spears going to be, sometimes you can look at the guy play, and you're going to be like, yeah, he that dude. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. But Tank Bigsby, SEC running back. Tavion Thomas, the running back from Utah, he's a big guy. But he's kind of in that big running back, Derrick Henry. He's slower than Derrick Henry too. But he was productive at Utah. Led the nation in touchdowns. So he's very good in short yard plays. He hits the hole. He has good acceleration, but Tavion Thomas is all right, but not for the Bucs. What the Bucs need is explosiveness. And I'm giving y'all the running backs that, to me, that when I seen the tape, they look explosive. Muhammad Ibrahim, the running back from Minnesota, he has some knee problems. He had towards ACL, but he came back and had like 20-something touchdowns. He had like over 1,400 yards, but he's not explosive. But he's a good running back. Kind of like that Damian Pierce type running back. He's going to be like that type of running back. He's like a poor man's Breece Hall. Condre Miller, the TCU running back, decent speed, versatile. So I saw a couple of TCU games. Number 33, for those of you that don't know who it is. If you don't know who Miller is on TCU, just pop on the tape and look at number 33. You tell me he wouldn't be a good fit for the Bucs. Tajay Spears, Tank Bigsby, and Miller from TCU. Devin Achey. I'm just saying. Rashawn Johnson from Texas. You don't think these guys can get in there and do something? Cameron Peoples, he's kind of slow, but decent size. I mean, he's kind of a big back, kind of like a Fournette. We don't need another Fournette. We need explosiveness. The running backs I really want the Bucs to look at is the explosive backs. So yeah, I gave y'all several running backs, and I'm gonna stop right there. And we'll go into details. But in the order I'm going to do this in, I'm going to do this from the trenches first. O tackles, interior O linemen. I'm gonna pick out some guys that I like that possibly can be available for the Bucs. And I'll do like I did the D line like that, last year. I'm gonna do the O line like that, and I'm gonna do the D line. I'm gonna do the D line like that again. I'm gonna do individual videos of several tackles and guards, or several O linemen. Let's just say that. Several D linemen, hands down in dirt, and then some outside linebackers and some running backs. And I'm doing some cornerbacks too. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a lot more videos this season about draft than last season. Last season, I didn't do a ton of videos. I started kind of late, but this season, I learned lesson learned. When you want to talk about the draft and individual players, you got to start early. You got to start early. Because remember, the draft is in April. So if you're going to do 20 to 30 players, you got to go back, you got to watch tape. And you got to pick out the guys you want to talk about. Then you got to be like, okay, here's what I think. You got to write this stuff. It takes time to do this. So that's why I got to start earlier. So if I want to do O-line, D-line, outside linebacker, running back, secondary, I got to start early. So I'm going to start pretty much probably end of the month, March time frame. And then start doing those individual videos. Then you got, pro days and all that stuff like that. So, but running back situation is a position of interest for me. And I got to start. I'm going to go back just because I'm going to go back and watch the Bucs this past season I'm gonna watch the condensed version. I'm not gonna watch the entirety of the games because it's a painful thing to do. I've seen enough Bucs tape. I'm not gonna go back and watch 17 full games of the Bucs. I'm going to go back and watch 17 condensed version of the Bucs on NFL Plus. So if those of you that don't have NFL Plus, all 22, no, we did a lot of all 22. I've seen enough, but I'm going to go back and watch the condensed version of these games. So Bucs OC situation, moving slow as a snail, slow as a tortoise, and also the Bucs running back situation, the running back draft class, a lot of depth. I'm gonna go back and watch the games. Remember, I'm gonna go back and watch the condensed version of the games, which means instead of the 2-hour long version of it, it's like 45 minutes. So I'm just gonna go back through all 17 games. I'm gonna do one game a day. Yep. So, well, folks, there you have it. Nice little video, hour and 40 minutes long, hour and 41 minutes. Shout out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining the Locker Room Talk. They say you would have bleached your eyes. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a mock draft video. I'm definitely gonna do a mock draft video. Y'all know y'all like my mock drafts. I've done a few of them, so. And my mock draft has been pretty decent. If you go back and look at my mock drafts, it's like, all right, I mean, it ain't great, but it's all right, Especially last season, the first 2 rounds, it was right there. D-line, and the Bucs did not do it. Come on, Jason Light, get it together, man. And what was the problem this season? D-line. Good. I do this. Shout out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining. With that being said, fire the cannons, seize the day, raise the flag. Hashtag no risk, no biscuit. Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag bombs away. Hashtag stay humble. Hashtag what did your eyes tell you? Hashtag probability versus possibility. Hashtag trenches matter. Do you understand, folks? You saw it this past season. Trenches matter on both sides of the ball. Don't believe me? Just go back and watch. Painful. Hashtag fire the cannons. Hashtag walk the plank. Or walking the plank. Hashtag why? Hashtag don't get mad at me. I don't play the game. I just talk about it. Hashtag what is this? What is this? What is this? Like, hashtag life after Brady. Hashtag get an OC. Hashtag who's the quarterback? Hashtag why? Why? Hashtag bus. It is what it is, folks. Get mad at the team. I'm just telling y'all what y'all see already. I'll see y'all soon. Next video. Y'all have a good night. Deuces.